Welcome to London Property News Bulletin. Every week, we break down the key headlines and the wider news that could influence the market, keeping you informed and confident in your decisions. Here is what you need to know this week.
The estates push back on ground rent. The Times reports that the Duke of Westminster's Grosvenor was among 13 institutional investors who privately warned Rachel Reeves that capping ground rents could trigger a sudden collapse in professional freehold ownership. It is leasehold reform seen from the other side of the table, the estates that hold much of Mayfair and Belgravia. For prime London leaseholders, the ground rent question is no longer academic. The relief promised to flat owners is the same measure unsettling the landlords above them. Prime London rents tighten as supply thins. Prime London rents are gathering pace again as the supply of letting stock tightens, Prime Resi reports, with RICS data showing landlord instructions falling even as tenant demand climbs. The squeeze has a clear cause. The Renters' Rights Act and the wider tax burden are nudging some landlords out, and fewer homes to let means stronger rents on those that remain. For prime London owners weighing whether to let, the lettings market is quietly rewarding those who stay in it. A summer of tax speculation. With Andy Burnham's name attached to number 10, the papers have linked him to a lower mansion tax threshold, reportedly £1.5 million, alongside talk of replacing stamp duty and council tax with a single property levy. None of it is confirmed, but Knight Frank already calls it a summer of uncertainty for prime London. For owners of 1.5 million plus homes, the planning question is what you do now while it is still speculation and not yet statute. HMRC turns up the heat on inheritance tax. Inheritance tax investigations have reached a 6-year high, The Telegraph reports, with claims for reliefs such as agricultural property relief drawing particular scrutiny. For families holding significant property wealth, the lesson is not to avoid the reliefs, but to evidence them properly valuations, timelines, a clear record of intent. This is where the advisor gap bites hardest. The households most exposed are often the ones without a single person joining up tax, estate and property. The Renters' Rights Act reaches the trusts. Farrer & Co. has set out what trustees need to know about the Renters' Rights Act 2025, a reminder that the reforms, in force from the 1st of May, reach well beyond conventional buy-to-let. Trust structures holding residential property in prime London face the same end to Section 21, the same rules on rent increases and grounds for possession. If a family trust lets a London home, the tenancy terms and the paperwork want reviewing now, not at renewal. Councils eye the short-let market. Councils could gain new powers over short-term lets and second homes, Property 118 reports, part of a steady tightening around the Airbnb-style market. For prime London owners who let a pied, a tear, or a second home on short lets, the direction of travel is plain. More registration, more local control, less of the light-touch flexibility that made short letting attractive in the first place, worth weighing carefully into any hold versus let decision this year.
That wraps this week's London Property News Bulletin. Thank you for listening. If something caught your attention or you need support navigating the impact of the news, then please reach out to us. We're here to guide you. If this was useful, do pass it on to someone who also follows the market, and don't forget to subscribe to stay one step ahead.